Hey everybody, I'm that one. This stupid ass microphone is gonna make me lose it. Hi! Hey everybody, I'm that one person. Welcome back to Super Mario Bros. 2. I already said that, but this stupid fucking microphone. Oy, yay. Okay, so. Long story short, I don't have an excuse for today about why it took so long. All I can say is I'm starting to get pissed off about the times my body decides it's time to go to the bathroom. So, that's fun. A bit quiet? Or is the game a bit loud? Maybe it's a little bit of both. Let me try adjusting both. Okay. So. Hi. Sorry I'm late. Oh, my controls are weird. I'm using a controller this time instead of, like, the singular Joy-Con. And I didn't think to get my controls set up before I started the game. So, I'm sorry. Now, wait. Okay. This one needs to jump. This one needs to throw. Okay. These bathroom breaks are pissing me off. You're fucking telling me, dude. Super Mario Bros. 2 Game of the Year every year. I don't watch that guy, but I'm glad you still enjoy him. Okay, so. For those who don't know, this is not the first time I've played Mario 2 on stream. I didn't do very good. I've never been good at 2D Mario games. I've never been good at 3D Mario games. I've never really been good at games in general. Frankly, the only time I ever thought that I was even decent at games was during my recent Deltarune playthrough, which we only did Chapter 1 so far, with Adam in Arizona. Which, by the way, as far as I know, that should be coming back this Saturday? Question mark? We'll have to get back to Adam. I've been asking him, like, if he's gonna be free, and he hasn't really given me a response, because other things keep popping up before he sees it, I guess. I wonder if they'll ever remake old Mario games. This guy... I feel like a lot of old Mario games could kind of use a bit of a remake, but at the same time, I feel like they don't really know how they would do that, because at this point, they're so iconic that it would be kind of hard to, like, do it exactly right, I feel like. I feel like a lot of the time, it's just kind of an awkward spot, you know? Remakes are always kind of a hard situation, you know? You do it well, and then fans will always love it, and it'll go down as the best rendition of... Well, it may end up going down as, like, the best rendition of that specific game. You do it wrong, and suddenly your entire game studio is completely hated by fans of that series. Sure, it's happened more than a few times. I didn't even know that was there. That was just a guess. But yeah, I've played this game a few times throughout my life. I've never beaten it. I've streamed this game before. I still have never beaten it. Because I got kind of worn down after having to restart the entire game after getting a game over. That might have even been, like, I might have even, like, tried it twice on stream. And then I was just so worn down after repeatedly getting super far and then restarting the whole game. Doesn't stop them from remaking other iconic games. I mean, that's fair. It depends on the game, really, I guess. Ah, come on. Regardless, I feel like remakes are kind of a Ninja, my beloved. I feel like remakes, just in general, are kind of a touchy subject, you know? Because I've played some good remakes, and I've played some god-awful remakes. One of which I've even played on stream, I believe. I didn't beat it because I didn't want to. Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is just way worse. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. I will not be hearing otherwise. Oh yeah, you know what? They did remake this game, didn't they? There was Super Mario Advance. But I'm guessing you mean like a more modern remake, probably with like HD graphics or whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about today. I'm just kind of rambling. But yeah. I mean, I feel like... Oh, my lord. I don't know, you know? Because there's a lot of aspects that can either make or break a remake. And it's hard to really know what that would be. Like, sure, you could go for, like, as faithful as physically possible and make the game almost identical how it was back in the day. But that might not go over well. Maybe it'll be too similar, or people just won't like what small changes you make to it or something. You could try to go in a completely different direction with it, and make it like an entirely brand new game. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, because then I could have done like a skip and taken the key with me. Whatever. You know, it's just kind of like a whole awkward situation. But other times, if you do either one of those things, sometimes it actually works and ends up being a really beloved rendition of that game. I have no problems with remakes, because if they're worse than the original, you can just play the original. I mean, I guess that's fair. But on the other hand, if I paid money for a game, and it sucks, even if it is a remake, I'm gonna be upset. And I'm gonna be even more upset if that ends up being, like, the standard for future renditions of this game, or if that was, like, the last chance that game could have had, or that series could have had, and it's just never gonna recover from that. Like, that one remake ends up being the last nail in the coffin or something. You know? Just kind of like a whole confusing thing. Like, a good example of, like... words. A good example of, like, a remake going completely in a... Well, not completely in a different direction, but in a very different direction, I would say, would be, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They're way different from the actual original Ruby and Sapphire on GBA. I think they did a really good job, and I think it's a really cool rendition of those games. I think I prefer it to the original, but then again, I didn't really grow up with the original, so maybe I don't have the same nostalgia goggles that someone who did might. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes, admittedly, nostalgia goggles can kind of help you spot more differences, but at the same time, it can also kind of make you blind to actual problems with the game. You know? It's complicated. Again. I digress. But yeah, I thought Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were really great games. Then again, they're words. I can understand if people thought it was, like, too different from the original, or not that great of changes were made. It's complicated. Even when you do something possibly right, it can end up being, like... I don't know, you're probably never gonna be able to please everybody. I should just stop trying to kill these guys. Okay, hang on. There's a lot of things in chat. Hang on. I mean, I do have issues with remakes that are, like, the only way to play a game on a certain platform. That's also fair. I don't know, you just have to look at reviews. It's kind of on if you buy a game. It's kind of on you if you buy a game and you hate it. No? I'm gonna go with no. Not really your fault if you went into a game thinking it was gonna be good, or that it was gonna work with your tastes, or if the developers promised more than what they actually ended up giving you. Or just if the game looked like it was gonna be good, but then it just ended up not being good. Especially because you can't always trust reviewers. Everyone has different opinions and perceptions about certain things. Some people can absolutely hate a game, while other people can love it. For example, a lot of people hate Sonic 06. Arizona loves it with all her heart. You know? You have to know yourself and what you like. Hollow Knight had good reviews and Damon hated it. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Right? Because, like, I feel like there was no real indication on whether or not I was going to enjoy Hollow Knight, you know? I feel like everything was pointing in the direction of Hollow Knight being something I would enjoy, and I don't know, I guess it just didn't really click with me. I could probably go back through and try it again off-stream, because, again, part of that was just kind of bad stream experience. But at the same time, I feel like there were just some problems that I kept having with it. Like, I felt like, I don't know. Just in general, though, it's, I can't really say that, oh, if you... This is a problem. In fact, I think I might have fucked myself. I don't think I can get that key back up there. I'm gonna have to go all the way back up and hope it respawns. But yeah, I don't really think you can really say, oh, if you buy a game that you don't like, it's entirely your fault. Skill issue. No. Sometimes things just kind of don't click or things like that. You can't predict how everything's gonna go. A lot of time you just kind of have to take a gamble and see whether or not you're gonna like a game. And again, with remakes, that kind of becomes harder to do because, well, you already know you like the original, so if you think that the remake looks good and there's positive reviews for it, it's hardly the player's fault if they end up not liking it. It's a whole complicated issue. And regardless, if a developer makes an objectively bad product, that's still on them. You can't just blame the player for that. Okay, oh my god. Peak had good reviews and was a game that looked like something I liked, but I had to return it on Steam. It was because of motion sickness, not because I didn't like the game, but I still don't think that was on me. Yeah, that's also kind of a problem. There are all sorts of factors that can play into something like this. There's never really a good way to know exactly whether or not you're gonna like something or not. A lot of time you just kind of have to roll the dice. Not many objectively bad products. I mean... There's a decent amount of games that have, like... that, like, overall are just kind of not that great. Oh, did it fucking... I should be dead? I should not have been able to save that. I've only been burnt once, so I don't know, man. You just kind of like a lot of things. I feel like a lot of the time you seem to be kind of less critical about some things than I am. And not that there's anything wrong with that. You're allowed to like whatever you like, but just in general. I don't know. Some things just kind of bother me and get more... They get to me a bit more when I'm trying to enjoy a game. It's just kind of... Sometimes things can kind of just not make a game all that fun for me. It's true, I'm not very picky. I'm not... To be fair, I'm not saying that anyone is wrong in any way, shape, or form, right? You're allowed to like games that other people don't like. Hell, look at me! I like Pokemon Scarlet! That's already something pretty controversial. But also, just in general... You know, you can never really know what you're gonna like or not. Sometimes you just gotta roll the dice, and it's not really something that can be your fault a lot of the time. It's just more fun to enjoy things for what they are. That's fair, and I usually try to enjoy games, obviously. It's not like I go into games thinking, oh, I'm gonna hate this. I'm gonna go into this and I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna have such a good time hating on it. No. Usually, almost every time I play a new game, oh my god, I go into it hoping to like it, you know? And it's just sometimes that just doesn't really work out. Honestly, I feel like that's kind of what makes it hurt more. When I'm like going into a game super excited, thinking it's gonna be super enjoyable, and it just doesn't end up clicking with me. Or worse, I end up actually hating it. I'll say it. I didn't want to not like Earthbound, but just there was so much about the game that was just... It's a lot. Earthbound was like a whole complicated thing. Some people do go into games wanting to hate it. Well, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I'm not one of those kinds of people. I usually try to enjoy a game, and when I end up not enjoying it, I tend to find myself trying to understand why. You know? Because I understand it's pretty frustrating when someone just starts talking shit about something without actually having any sort of, like, good reason for it. Especially if it's something that means a lot to you, so I try not to do that. And that's not to say that I haven't had moments where I've been kind of a dick about some games. Usually because I either am so frustrated that I can't really put it into words, or because I'm trying to describe it, but... I'm so frustrated that I can't actually communicate. But overall, I try to, like, say why I don't like it. That's kind of besides the point, I guess. I don't know. How do we even get here? We were talking about remakes. Remakes are kind of like a whole complicated issue in terms of game development, right? Because there's a lot of good remakes and there's a lot of bad remakes. But the thing is, a lot of the time, aspects that would be praised in some remakes end up being a lot of people's big problems in other remakes. You know? So it's a little complicated. Sometimes game developers should have taken more liberties to make the game different or more interesting. Other times, they took too many liberties and it's too different and it's not the exact same game that I remember when I was a child or whatever. Ton of chat delay? Are we sure? Or is it just because I'm not really paying attention? Because it's highly possible. I'm not really paying too much attention to chat today. I'm kind of like... I'm kind of like flipping back and forth between trying to play the game and trying to read. I guess you would only really be able to tell based off of, like, when you send your message versus when it pops up on the screen. I'm guessing it's probably just me, though. Not that Twitch is never to blame for anything, because Twitch is usually to blame for everything. But, also, I'm gaming today. You can tell based off how I'm throwing carrots at snakes, obviously. Maybe it's on my end, I don't know, it took over 10 seconds for a message to appear on stream. It might be, it's probably Twitch, though. It could also just be stream delay. Like, you could just be behind. You could always try reloading the page or whatever. Oh my god, it's been so long since I played this last, honestly. I don't think I've played it since I last streamed it. And according to my Switch, that might have been, like, 2 years ago. So I'm a little bit out of my depth right now. That'll help. Oh, Jesus. Okay. hang on, I'm doing fine. Those can't hurt me, that's fine. I'll take that. I need to stop panicking. It's about 10 seconds on my end too, so I'm willing to chalk it up to Twitch servers being Garbo. Damn. Alright, well, I'm sorry, guys. I might have messed with my settings on OBS, actually. Hang on. Give me a second. I remember I was looking into changing something, so that way I could... Well, I don't think I actually changed it, though. Okay, stream. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. But damn it, it's Doki Doki Panic. You should panic. Oh god. Panicking is what's getting me killed, so I need to not do that. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, we're fine. Alright. Damn. Is there any way to, like, time this? It probably goes way too fast. Nope. I don't know. That's probably where, like, a lot of... Hang on. I'd imagine a lot of trying to beat this game involves just getting, like, good rolls on the roulette... Not roulette. Slot machine. I mean, probably not. There are probably people who are actually good at this game who can avoid taking damage. I am not. So, see? There's my point. There's exactly what I'm talking about. So they probably are able to, like, get through the game without doing that. Doing exactly that. All the time. So they probably don't need to worry about constantly keeping their health, or constantly keeping their lives topped off. Made a mistake. Okay, well, what am I supposed to do about this then? Yeah. There we go. Okay, never mind then. Fine, be that way. Okay. That was on me. God, this is why I've never been able to beat this fucking game, because I'm bad at it. Who would have guessed, right? Oh. There we go. I don't even know where this is going, honestly. But as long as I'm not fucking dodging bullets constantly, I think I prefer it here. Ooh. That's good. Okay. Okay, anyway, while I'm over here fighting for my fucking life, how are your guys' days going? What's going on with you? Ah, come on! He was already shooting from off-screen. That's mean. Jesus. It's kind of weird seeing the original version, because I played the Mario All-Stars version on Super Nintendo. Yeah! I feel it. I've always played the original NES version, so this version. So it's kind of weird seeing the Mario All-Stars version and the Mario Advance version. I think they both look pretty good, though. In their own way. Though it's very clear that this one had a lot more limitations, obviously. Fucking, there's like no room there. Jesus. I do think some aspects of this game probably aren't the greatest. They were real proud of this digging mechanic, and I really don't think that it should have been. As mean as that is, I don't think this digging mechanic is all that great. It's just kind of annoying. Oh my god, that was so close. Oh. I'm trying to organize and reorganize my bookshelf, but I have too much junk and knickknacks on it, so I don't know where to put everything. That's how my day's going. Yeah, I feel it. I have like a bunch of shelves in my room that I just never really clean up. So there's just kind of a mess of things in there. And I really should clean up. I mean, the most recent time I've actually, like, cleaned them up was when I got a bunch of retro games from my cousin and my aunt, just so I could, like, clear up 2 shelves to put the Nintendo 64 and GameCube stuff, and NES games and no NES. Oh, come on, that was cheap. Oh, good, now I'm totally screwed, aren't I? I don't know how I avoided taking a hit there, but okay. I don't even know what am I supposed to do with you, huh? Get out of my life. Yeah, suck it. Oh my god. Okay, we're fine. Peach is the fastest digger, right? I think Toad is. Peach can float, though. Luigi jumps real high, and then Mario is also there. I don't know if... Actually, wait. I think in more modern Mario games, Toad runs fast. I don't know if that was started... Okay. If that was started here, or if... Okay. Toad is the fastest too, yes? I don't know. I was just kind of rambling on that on my own, I guess. Yeah, I don't actually remember if Toad is the fastest in this one, or if he was just the strongest? I know he's the strongest, for sure. He digs fast, he picks things up fast. I don't know if he runs fast. What am I doing? What the hell? Why even bother trying to pick up the same one when there's 3 down here, and they take 3 hits? Duh. It's so obvious. I'm building a fucking wall over there, just by bouncing it off of their skull. I keep looking at chat trying to charge this. I need to just let it happen and pay attention to the game. My own hubris. Oh, God. Okay, now what? Sure, I'll take it. Alright. Anyway, I guess since I've already asked you guys about your day, I should probably tell what's been going on with mine. I haven't really been doing much, today at least, but I have been getting back into game development again, off-stream. I'm working on it. I've already remade... Whoa. Hi, thank you for the confetti. Sorry, that threw me off. But yeah, I've already more or less remade the basic movement that I had from before, while also kind of like, okay, improving it a little bit? Oh god. I've improved on what I had before. So I'm back up to having running, walking, jumping. I have the jump much more efficient and much more towards what I was looking for. I made a mistake. I haven't done anything in terms of animation. You did it, you won gambling. Oh right, yeah, thank you for that. I got 1 life. Jesus. Oh my god, just give me the star, please. That's quicksand! I wasn't crouching! Okay. But yeah, I haven't been doing anything with animations yet, just because I'm trying to, like, get the functionality back in order. But also, at the same time, I got a little bit greedy, and I've been screwing around with, like, a secondary camera mode. Right now I have, like, a basic third-person camera, and I also made it so you can switch to, like, a first-person camera, just for, like, looking around. I specifically made it so that you can't move while you're in first-person camera, just because it's more meant to, like, look around from your current position. I want to add, like, a zoom to it. I haven't yet, but I want to. I was working on that, like, right before the stream started, actually. So I'll probably get around to that later, after the stream. Oh, why would you give that to me there? Alright. Okay, we're fine. If I could get, like, a heart soon. Or not. Or I could just do that. Why do they not bounce when I throw them up there, huh? They're supposed to bounce a little bit. Okay, no, that didn't give me a heart that time. They're not bouncing boys. Apparently. Specifically the ones that... What? Okay. This time he drops all the way down, huh? He's gonna drop down again. That's a pain in the ass. I panicked again. I did it again. Okay, but yeah, I want to make it so that when players are in the camera mode of the game I'm working on, or not camera mode, it's an alternate camera mode, but it's not meant to be like a photo mode or whatever. Maybe I will add photo mode. I'll worry about that once I get the actual game working first. This is why I can never beat this game. Oh, we're already hitting our first game over. This game is strict. Mario 3 lets you just continue from right where you left off. This one just, like, makes you restart the entire fucking... Okay. The entire world if you get a game over. And you only have, like, 2 game over, or 2 continues. This shit's strict. Put it down, put it down. I mean, I guess that's how people got their playtime out of these games back in the day. This game is hard. 1000% yes. I feel like it would be a lot easier if it just had the same continue system as Mario 3, aka just infinite continues. Which, I mean, that's fair. Most games would probably be easier if they had infinite continues, or be harder if they didn't have infinite continues. That's just kind of how that kind of thing works. You know? I digress. But man, I feel like this game... Actually, you know what? That might be how the All-Stars version works, isn't it? I've never thought about that. What's up with both Zelda 2 and Mario 2 being super different and hard and also kind of bad? I don't think this one's bad. I mean, it has some issues. I don't think this digging is fun. But I think a lot of this game's not that bad. Also, I feel like just in general, a lot of games back then were a lot harder. Just because, you know, you had to get your money's worth out of a game. If you beat a game in, like, 10 minutes after spending, like, full price on it, at least back then, that was less, liked, as far as I know. Then again, nowadays, games are just kind of differently priced overall. There's a lot of indie games that are, like, super cheap, but give you a lot of playtime. Or don't give you a lot of playtime. It depends. I think it's the worst 2D Mario. Well, agree to disagree. even if you don't like it, you can't argue against the fact that it... I was crouching. Okay, sure. What do you think is the worst? I don't really know. I've never really thought too hard about which ones are the worst. I know New Super Mario Bros. 2, specifically, wasn't that great. It just kind of felt boring. Like, way too easy, way too basic. I've never really thought too hard about which ones are the worst Mario games overall. Or at least none of the 2D ones. I've never really been that much of a 2D Mario guy. Not that they're bad, it's just... I've always been more of a Mario 3. Yeah, see, when I said bad, I just meant the worst of their series. Their series? I mean, it's all just 2D Mario games. So that's technically still just the Mario series overall. No, don't go back in. I'm not used to using the D-pad on a classic controller. It's the worst Mario game for me. Well, agree to disagree. And regardless, even if you don't like it, you can't argue against the fact that this game had a huge impact on the Mario franchise as a whole. There's a lot of shit that's still being seen and still being used to this very day, even with modern Mario games. A lot of it... I'm not saying that necessarily automatically means it's a good game, but I'm just saying it does mean that this game had an impact, at least. I haven't played all of them. That's fair. I feel like most of us probably haven't. There's a lot of Mario games in general. Oh my lord. But yeah, I know that there's a decent amount I haven't touched, I don't think. Do we count? We count Yoshi's Island as Mario games, right? And probably Donkey Kong Country, too? Well, not well, I mean, yes, Donkey Kong Country 2, but, like, not Donkey Kong Country 2 specifically, like Donkey Kong Country also. Zelda 2 is like the objectively worst Zelda game. Hey, what happened to that thing you said earlier about there not being objectively bad games? Oh god. Not Donkey Kong Country, that's not Mario. I mean, it's still very much so in the greater Mario franchise, you know? Like, it spawned from a Mario game, and it still has aspects of those original Mario games present. I didn't say it was bad, just the worst of their the Zelda series. Eh. I've never really played that much of it. I bought it on the Wii U Virtual Console. I didn't really enjoy it. But also, I'm not sure if I would have enjoyed the original Zelda either. Probably just a skill issue overall. Very few people like it. I mean, that's fair. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna beat this boss fight first try. I'm telling you this right here, right now. Luigi gaining TP by praising the Shy Guys. Listen, I gotta avoid things somehow. God, I wish I had Heal Prayer right now. Okay, that one... surprisingly better than last time. Well, yeah. I guess it's kind of hard for me to really say what would be the worst out of the 2D Marios. If I haven't really played through all of them. I haven't really played through most of them. I've never beaten this one. I've never beaten Super Mario World. I've never beaten Mario 1. I've never beaten Mario 2 Japan Edition. I'm sure there's others, but they're not coming to my head right now. I'd say we should count Donkey Kong Country. They're at least Mario adjacent. I've never even played, like, any of the Wario Land games, or Super Mario Land by that extension. Fuck. So it's kind of a huge series. There's a lot of aspects. I disagree, Donkey Kong Country is very much its own series. It still has its roots in Mario, and just in general, Donkey Kong as a whole was a Mario character. It's still part of the Mario franchise. That's why, though infrequent, some characters from Donkey Kong Country do still appear in Mario spin-off. Like, the baseball one had King K. Rool. There was the soccer one, which had, if I remember correctly, it was like the generic Kremlings, I think they're called, as goalies. There's like Funky Kong and Mario Kart Wii. There's still clearly a Mario characters. Franchise doesn't equal series. That's why I said franchise. The greater Mario franchise. Mario Kart is a Mario game. Mario Kart also features Funky Kong. But it's like different. It's the Mario. Oh Christ. Point is, I haven't played a lot of Mario franchise games, so I can't really say which would be the worst or the best. Yes, but I was talking about series. You're acting like this difference really changes a lot, dude. Either way, it's still technically Mario. It's different series in Mario. But they're still overall the Mario franchise. To each their own. Agree to disagree. They're unique takes on platformers within the Mario franchise. Sure, I'm not saying that they're exactly the same. I just think that it's reasonably fair to group them into the same franchise. Is Link a part of the Mario franchise because he's in Mario Kart 8? He was DLC originally, so we don't count him. Bonus DLC, crossover DLC. If it's specifically stated to be a crossover, which it was, crossover DLC, that definitely does not count. You do realize this argument really does not matter, right? It doesn't change, like, anything. I hope you realize that. Because I feel like this is kind of what I was talking about the other day, about how you always are kind of competitive in my streams. Yeah, I just like being right. It doesn't really matter, but alright, sure, man. Just, like, I don't want to be a dick, but also, like... Could you do me a favor and, like, try to cool down every so often, man? Because, like, I appreciate you being here, and I like having deep arguments with, or deep conversations with you about stupid shit, but sometimes I feel like it gets a little bit too heated. Oh, good lord! See, I don't feel heated, I'm just making my point. But it kind of looks like you're heated, based off your chat messages. Like, when you start just like, oh, well, is this character, or this character, or this character? It just kind of feels like you're just kind of throwing things out there to try to just, like, I don't know. You're the one that takes it personally. I'm not, though. I'm just trying to move on from the conversation, and I feel like you don't really let that happen sometimes. And that's when it starts to irritate me. Like, I'm perfectly fine with just moving on from these things, and sometimes I would prefer to just drop it because it doesn't matter at all. But sometimes it really feels like you just won't let that happen. Alright, I think this is about where I've managed to get up to before on this game. Maybe one after this? No, this feels familiar. This is like where this world was about where I normally get to. At least if I don't use the secret warp at the beginning of 1, 2... So I don't think we've really made any new progress, but we do still have, like, an extra continue, so that's nice at least. I'm probably gonna screw it all up somehow. I guess I'll just take him out. I was trying to, like, find a way to just get around him. Okay. Or not. Maybe I just can't do that. Maybe this is the exact thing I was talking about when I said I was probably gonna screw it all up somehow. I hope it's right here. Okay. God, I keep trying to throw things and then immediately go back so that I land on the ground. What is happening over there? I don't even think I can dissect that conversation. Jesus. Oh god. Okay. Get out of here. Man. Maybe I should just, like... I don't want to look it up. But maybe I should just look up where all the mushrooms are. Oh god. He's fucking coming for me. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ah, come on! It It really looks like I should be able to crouch under those, man. At least I have a shitload of extra lives. What the hell? Ah, well, that works. It's on the other side now. I can work with that a bit more. This is a really bad way of fighting this boss, I feel like. I tried to throw it. Gambling paid off. Remember, kids, always gamble away your life savings. Don't do that. No joke, do not do that. What the hell? Do not gamble away your life savings. It's a bad idea. You will not get lucky. You will lose everything. I'm so dead. Oh my god. Insert that one image of the guy about to hit diamonds but turning away. 99% of gamblers quit before they hit it big, never stop gambling. This is terrible advice, and you should not gambling. You should not gambling. That's just the end of the statement. Okay, I look away for 1 second. I need to stop looking at chat when I'm in the middle of a tense situation. Nintendo loves to teach children about gambling. Game Freak used to too, but then the censors got them. And now we're stuck with fucking Voltorb Flip. God, I hated that minigame. I played that shit all day once for a fucking Dratini, and I regret it so much. Why is the ostrich invisible? Probably just because the NES color palette limitations, but it looks a little odd. I need to stop panicking so much. That always happens in this game. I just kind of get overwhelmed, and then... Okay. I just get overwhelmed, and then I just start freaking out. Okay, so the ostriches are immune to power blocks. That's... That's normal. This is a bad idea. There's no way I would be able to make that jump. Oh my god. And we're fine. Throw it. Oh, I should probably be saving some of these instead of just throwing them around randomly. Okay, or it can get stuck on... I'm guessing it just barely hit the corner. God, okay. I was holding down! I was trying to go back down, but he wouldn't stop! This is a fucking cutscene because of the ladder transition. Damn this game and its ladder cutscenes. Throw it! That's so unsafe. I know! Talk about a workplace hazard! Even though this is in the middle of nature. Don't look too deep into it. I say, I'm talking about workplace hazards as I'm throwing fucking bombs at a wall. Get rid of it! Oh my god. I don't have enough bombs anyway. Okay, but that was better. At the very least, I'm able to retry. It's like when you get a block stuck in a puzzle or something. Don't shoot me again! Oh, come on! I don't know if that was intentional or not, but god, that's annoying. I mean, like, I could see how it would make sense if it was intentional. like a punishment for failing the puzzle, I guess. Cruel, but I see where you're coming from. But goddamn. This is fine, this is fine. Again, that's like it wasn't even that big of a situation. I just kind of threw myself into it and then I panicked once I was stuck in the middle of it. I'd say I wish enemies died or stayed dead when you killed them, but then I remember that I died a couple times. Or at least once after killing that guy, so I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Nope. I'm gonna have to just make that work. Can I go up here? Well, now I don't know which way I'm supposed to be going. Oh, this is the way I'm supposed to be going. Never mind. Well, now I'm disappointed because I feel like I might have missed a secret. Ah, fuck it. It's the boss anyway. Whatever I would have grabbed probably would have been lost between levels anyway. I still feel like I should be able to crouch under those. Because it looks like whatever, it's not a big deal. I just need to get used to the fact that I can't, instead of just constantly complaining about it. Okay. I have a plan. It's solid, never mind. I was gonna try to throw them through the floor. I can't remember if those bouncing back can actually hit me. I mean, I know that the snippet bullets can't. Ah, I did it again! Like, I just told myself I need to stop doing that. Hang on, I'm standing up right now, so I might sound a little bit farther away from the microphone. I just need to get off my ass for a second. I'm probably gonna be here for a minute. Okay. Okay, great timing. I'm getting it though. Probably took me too long to learn this specific mini-boss. But it's too late now. Come on. I did that on the correct rhythm. It's supposed to be 3 shots, and then you have a chance to grab. But I guess because they went off screen. Whatever. This is why I can never beat this game. It's fucking hard. And I'm bad. Like, that was only the 2nd level of World 3. How many worlds are in this game? I'm guessing it's like the usual 8, right? Alright, I'm sitting back down. I'm probably only gonna go until the end of my current set of continues. So I guess until I get a game over here. Just because I feel like that's a good way to end this stream. Kind of like how when I end my Super Monkey Ball streams after giving it like a few attempts. God, there's so many games that I want to beat. Just to, like, check that off of my list of beaten games. I know it doesn't matter, but at the same time, I just want to be able to do that. This game is definitely one of them. Still need to beat Super Monkey Ball, too. And Super Monkey Ball 2. I mean, technically I did beat the original Super Monkey Ball on stream, I believe, with the normal mode, but I want to do expert mode, because I feel like I totally, well, I guess that's kind of a stretch, because, you know, I've only gotten to, what, 15 out of 50? That's not great, actually. Maybe I should give up on that one. But I don't want to, because that game, okay, awesome. That game holds a special place in my heart, and also, it's just really fun. And I've tried so many times, and I just haven't gotten it still. But god, every time I, like, think about that, it feels like I've been doing so well on it, and then I remember, oh yeah, by the way, you're not even halfway done with that game. Good luck, dipshit. And I don't even think I've beaten the normal mode of Super Monkey Ball 2. So that's another thing I gotta do at some point. Here's a question. Ah, fuck. What about you guys, chat? Do you guys have any games that you, like, you want to beat before you die, I suppose? Just, like, gaming bucket lists? Fuck. That sucked! I forgot, again, about the fucking crouching thing. I know that there's probably more games on my theoretical gaming bucket list that I want to get to. Okay, well, I do, but it's mostly a matter of not owning a game. I feel it. Ah, oh, damn it. Alright, well... Yeah, I guess we're gonna... No. I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. Uno mas. I mean, we could. I probably wouldn't be able to get very far. I was gonna ask if you guys wanted to see my progress on game development, if you would rather see that. Maybe if I'm bad enough, we'll have time to do both. Ooh, that'd be cool too. We can go for a little bit. We can go until, like, next continue, and then I can show you what I have so far. Maybe screw around with that for a little bit. Because I've been making... Well, I mostly just want to show you, like, the thing I did with the camera, because I think it looks really nice. Because it's really cool, and I know that I probably shouldn't be putting too much focus into, like, making things look cool, because I'm still at the beginning of the game, and I want to make it actually function. But, like, at the same time, it looks really cool, and I want you guys to see it, and I want to keep making things that look that cool in my game. I'm proud of it, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, maybe we can screw around and try to get the zoom function working with the first-person camera switch. Because again, the first-person mode isn't supposed to be, like, something the game can be played in. Although maybe if I end up finishing the game one day, I'll add it in as, like, a bonus feature if you, like, I don't know, do specific requirements in the game. I don't know, I'm already thinking way too far ahead. I'm thinking it would be fun to have unlockables in the game for, like... Lots of games have achievement systems these days. I'm thinking I want to do that, and then have those achievements unlock stupid, useless things. Like alternate costumes, or allowing you to play the game entirely in first person. Which would probably be a monumental pain in the ass. But it would be a fun challenge run or something, I don't know. Did it again! I love games with unlockables. Like, it probably wouldn't matter. I do want to have, like, other more useful unlockables that are just done by, like, 100% completing the game, doing things in the levels. But I don't want to spoil what that would be, because that would kind of reveal what the game is planning to be based off of, because... Yeah, it's not exactly the most original idea. But it's one that I want to make, because I feel like it's a game that kind of doesn't get very much recognition this day and age, because the series kind of ended. I'd say thanks, insert game company here, but also that would be another hint towards what the game's supposed to be, and again, I'm trying to keep that kind of secret. I digress. But yeah. But I also want to have, like, more useless unlockables just for, like, doing achievements and things like that. You know, alternate costumes, alternate game modes, stupid shit. I mean, alternate game modes that are just kind of, like, crappy tacked-on things to the existing game modes. Not that I want them to be bad, but you know, there's not going to be like an entirely different experience or anything. Here's a little secret. I mean, it's not really a secret. You can do this, but you're not supposed to. But it can be used for something. Like extras in LEGO games. Yeah, I guess so. I haven't really played many LEGO games. I think the only ones I can think of off the top of my head were my first DS game, LEGO Indiana Jones, which, mind you, at the time I had never seen a single Indiana Jones movie, and since then I have watched one, the first one. Good movie, by the way. Would recommend. Maybe close your eyes during one of the later scenes if you're not into, like, gore, because it gets a little rough. Ah, I forgot that they won't let you take the key with you. You should watch the third one, it's really good. I might, maybe. Maybe one day. That's another thing for the backlog. Here we go with that again. Regardless. And the other one was Lego City Undercover for the Switch. I mean, I think it was on the Wii U first, but they ported it to Switch. Also really good. Very interesting that it was a lot more unique. Like, it was just based off of its own IP. That's cool. I appreciate that. I also think that there were some things that I wasn't the biggest fan of. From what I saw on Indiana Jones, and from what I've heard about other LEGO games, you can usually just kind of, like, make a super overpowered character by just giving him a bunch of shit. And you couldn't really do that in that game, because the characters were all kind of, like, based around specific types, which all had specific movesets. That was kind of disappointing, but it was overall a great game. I would still recommend it. Oops. That's weird. That's not supposed to be there. I broke the game. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't just slap a bunch of shit onto one character to give myself a super overpowered one once I beat the game. But still. Fun fact, you probably already know, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom was one of the movies responsible for the creation of the PG-13 rating. I did not know that. Please, tell me more. I'm actually curious. I would like to know. The closest thing that I know about is that Mortal Kombat and Night Trap were responsible for the ESRB rating system in general. A guy gets his heart ripped out in that movie. Yep, that'll do it. You know what I think is always kind of funny? Looking back on the things that were responsible for, like, setting those rating systems and seeing how they've changed, like, since then. Like, with the aforementioned Night Trap, that shit was super controversial, and people were terrified of video games, and this is corrupting our children. I think it's like T rating. You know, perfectly normal. People were like, parents were like, hey yo, what the fuck? Yeah, I'd probably say that too if I was watching a kid's movie and someone's heart got ripped out. Then again, I was literally watching The Simpsons earlier today, which is generally considered to be a family TV show, and that show also had someone who had their heart get ripped out. So, I don't know. What the fuck do I know? And yes, that is true. I genuinely did watch an episode of The Simpsons where someone's heart gets ripped out. It was in the in-universe TV show Itchy and Scratchy, which is known for being incredibly violent, so that might change things. It wasn't actually like one of the human characters. But still, it's relevant. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't heard, like, any controversy about Itchy and Scratchy in The Simpsons, considering how incredibly violent and kind of fucked up it is. Like, goddamn, I was watching that when I was a kid? I think the other movie that was created for the PG-13, or that created the PG-13 rating was Gremlins. I know nothing about that one either. Honestly, I don't think I want to watch that one. That one looks kind of weird and gross. Not really looks... Doesn't really look like something I would be interested in. I haven't seen that one either. That's fair. Yeah, same. Alright, good to know. I figured just saying that would have gotten me some flack, because I feel like a lot of the time people get all pissed off when people say, something doesn't look... Insert thing here doesn't really look like it's something I'd be interested in. Because, oh, but it's a classic, you gotta watch it. But it's like, what if I don't care, though? What if I would rather watch something else? What if I just want to watch the SpongeBob SquarePants movie for the billionth time this month? That's not true. I actually haven't watched the SpongeBob movie in a while. I should, though, because I have, like, a super HD Blu-ray of it. Alright, step 1, get a Blu-ray player. I know this is completely besides the point and irrelevant, but that is true. There was, like, a 20th anniversary, or something anniversary of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie a while ago, and they released, like, a super HD Blu-ray. I think it was, like, Ultra 4K HD, they called it, of the original SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I snuck in and grabbed that. Collector's edition with the metal box. And I haven't even watched it yet, because I don't have a Blu-ray player in my room. I think it also came with, like, a DVD copy, so that's nice. Even though I already had a DVD copy. But, I mean, mine was kind of old. It kind of damaged. So, I mean, I guess that's more reasonable. Honestly, I just wanted to pay homage to something that means a lot to me. But that is besides the point. Point is, just because someone recommends something doesn't mean you have to watch it. Even if they're, like, super insistent. Oh, but you need to, it's a classic! And I mean, sure, sometimes you can watch something and end up really enjoying it. Even if it's something that's not everyone likes. I remember one time my aunt made me watch the... What was it? It was the Ghostbusters reboot, where it was, like, all women as the Ghostbusters. I thought it was a good movie. I'm just saying, I thought it was okay. Have you seen The Princess Bride? Yes. Very good movie. Would recommend. I should probably watch it again at some point. Maybe I should start watching new things instead of watching the same things over and over. But you know what? I like the things that I watch. I like the things that I already know I like. Love that movie, and the book is good too. I wasn't sure if it was actually based off a book. I know that, like, in the movie, he, like, pulls out a book. I wasn't sure if that was, like, real or if it was just flair for the movie or whatever. Either way, now that I know that there is a book, I would be interested in reading it. Maybe I should read more in general. It's not that there's anything wrong with reading, it's just that a lot of the time when given the option between reading and something else, I usually pick something else. Again, that's not to mean that I don't like reading, because I actually do. I remember a lot of books that I actually really liked. Big fan of Agatha Christie murder mystery novels. But also, I just haven't really read in a while. You know? Don't know why, because I know that I enjoy it when I do, I just kinda don't. I don't know. Everyone in chat, you should probably read a book. Just in general. Anyone watching this, just go read a book. Go read something good. Reading is important. Knowing how to read is important. And I feel like there's a lot of people in this day and age who are kinda dumb. Not calling out anyone in chat, for the record. I get it, I go through phases of reading a bunch and then not reading anything. Yeah, that's fair. But again, I'm not saying anyone in chat, but I have seen examples online of some people being... What the hell? I didn't even mean to do that. I was just trying to duck the next bullet, and I took a hit. Oh, awesome. This will help me a lot. I'm not calling you dumb. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, there's a lot of people online. I've seen a lot of people online who concern me. Doesn't even bounce. I mean, it is a red shell, to be fair. You know what? I always thought that was a Mario Kart thing, but I guess that was kind of introduced here, wasn't it? That's another thing for the list, huh? The list of things that were started by Mario 2. Worst shell ever. I mean, I guess it doesn't really lock on. Mario Kart introduced the fact that it locked on to varying degrees of success, depending on the Mario Kart. Problem. Okay. Are there no red shells in the original Mario Kart or Lost Levels? I more meant, like, the fact that red shells run into walls and then don't bounce. In fact, I feel like most Mario Kart, or most Mario games, also have red shells, but they still bounce. This was like... This and Mario Kart are, like, the only ones that have red shells that don't really bounce upon hitting a wall. Instead, just disappearing. Here, I mean, I guess... I don't know, there's no real reason for it, but I guess I don't really see why they're... It's still different from the regular throwables, so it's still unique enough, since it slides along. Mario Kart, it definitely has more of a reason to do so, since that locks onto people and hits them. I don't know, I'm just rambling. I need to take a drink. I'm gonna take a drink of this hot chocolate I've got. Yes, I brought hot chocolate again today. Sue me. I don't have the money, but, you know, metaphorically. It's a turn of phrase, I guess. You get what I'm trying to say, I hope. Damn. Well, that's a problem immediately. This works. I wasn't even gonna say anything this time. Well, you know what? You get someone's expectations and suddenly they're gonna start replying to certain things that you usually do before you say it. I know what you're like. Okay, there we go. I've cried wolf too many times. Yes, that's it. That's what I'm trying to say. Something like that, at least. Why am I doing so good this time? I was supposed to have gotten a... I'm supposed to have gotten to continue by now! This isn't supposed to be happening. I wanted to show off my game development. Why am I locking in suddenly? I'm not controlling this. Okay, well... I wish I had more control over when I was able to lock in. Can I just say that? I feel like I only lock in when I don't really care enough to. It's in here, right? Yeah. God, imagine trying to get up to the secret room without being Luigi. You'd have to, like, perfectly jump on one of those fucking guys. Just to even get up there. I mean, it's probably not too hard. Yeah, I just did it. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. It's just way easier with Luigi. Is it not pretty much right next... Is it not always pretty much right next where you get the potion? I don't think so. I have had instances where I've, like, grabbed the potion, thrown it down right there, and then just not seen the mushroom. And I know it's not because I threw it, like, on top of the mushroom. Because it'll just spawn behind you. I don't know. I have no idea, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I always figured they were, because how else would you know? I don't know. I imagine either A, it's usually the ones that are earlier on in the game, so that way the player can learn how that works, or B... Oh, good lord! Okay, we're fine. Or B, it's usually, like, in secret rooms like that one. Like, that room is kind of a challenge to get to, so they just kind of give it to you without having to try too much, so that way you don't have to worry about finding the potion and then having to find where to put it. I don't know. Probably... I'm just guessing. I don't know. Possible it could be both. Possible it could be neither. The world may never know, unless you ask Shigeru or something. Oh right, this is just the run to the end. It's always weird when they have one of these boss fights that's just kind of a... I guess it's just kind of more of like an enemy encounter, just playing the boss music. But honestly, it's a refreshing change of pace, considering how quote-unquote well I do on the boss fights. Like this one, which I guess means that I was technically wrong and it wasn't just a not boss fight. But I digress. I've been saying that word a lot lately, I should probably stop. Come on! Why am I doing so well? It's a good word. That's fair. I like that word, but I feel like I say it too much. Like, I've said it, what, 3 times already in this stream? God, how am I here with full continues and 3 extra lives? Or, I mean, 6 extra lives. 3 no. Now I'm all fucking confused. Why did I say 3? Where the fuck did 3 come from? I think my brain was still thinking about how many attempts at that slot machine I had. I think that was 3. I wasn't really paying attention, I was just kind of doing it. I don't know, man. I saw 3 at some point, and that kind of got mixed into my brain. Oh, World 3, that's right. That's where we're at. That's where it came from. I got it. I figured it out. I figured the mystery. It should not have taken me that long to figure that out. But you know what? I'm dumb. So that's that. Okay. I'm not even gonna bother jumping back because that's such a small platform. Okay. I might cut the stream, or cut the game early, just so that we can actually go do what I wanted to do with the showing off my game development. Fuck it, we're not going downstairs anyway. Maybe, like, after this level, if you guys would like that. But if you guys are still invested in the game, I wouldn't want to cut you guys off. You know? Not until the end of the stream, at least. Okay, so it does hit me on the way down. Rhythm. Okay, just fire. That's not helpful. Ah, I jumped too soon. That was an ads. What were you saying? Oh. I was gonna say I might, like, stop the game and just do what I was gonna do with the game development anyway. If you guys wanted to see that. But if you guys were still invested with me playing the game, then I wouldn't want to cut you guys off. So I'll leave it up to you guys, I guess. That's fine. Sure, that sounds good? Alright, I'll just wrap up this level then, and then make a save state. you know, since you can't really save in a lot of NES games. Some of them you can. This is not one of them. So we're gonna... Oh yeah, that's how I thought... That's what made me think that I played this on stream last in 2024, because of my last save state. We're gonna make a new one. We might come back to this next Monday. We might not. I have no idea. But you're gonna have to give me a second to get everything set up over on my PC. So we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, and I'm gonna shuffle the comm stream playlist. Let me grab my controller real quick, actually. Okay, so we last left off, we did a bunch of shit, and then off stream I deleted it. Because I wanted to try again. So my mouse is not connecting. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, everything looks completely different. Yes, the camera zoom is connected to basic movement. We'll see more about that later. This is what I have for my camera thing. This whole thing, all this is what I have for my camera transition effect. So, let's take a look. Here's the game. Here's what we have so far. My controller is off. Okay, I haven't been doing anything with animation because I've been focusing on getting functionality. I've probably already mentioned that a few times by now, but we just slide around again. But the actual sliding and everything feels good. Everything looks kind of how I want it. There's like a double jump. I've made some platforms just to test how far the jumps can go. There's like a different height for the jumps if I tap versus if I hold. Same with the double jumps, as you can see. So I'm liking what I have so far. It's not that much. I mostly just made like these random platforms around just to, like, test the jumping. Here's the main thing that I've been working on. If I press in the right stick, and now we're in first person, and we can look around. We can't move while we're in this mode. That was intentional, just because this was meant to be like yeah, I guess a camera mode. You're just looking around. This is all what this is meant to be, you know? Just wait for you to get a different lay of the land, so to speak. It looks good. Thank you. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of the transition effect. It's just like a fade out. I want to add like a UI to the first person mode so that way it looks different. Maybe have like a separate button to get rid of the UI or something, if it's like in the way or something. I mean, I'm really just kind of moving the camera to the head position and then fading out the camera and making the character invisible when I'm in here, and then fading it back in and everything when I'm moving back. It's simple, but like it works. And I'm really proud of it. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm really proud of it. Okay, but I want to do a little bit more with it, right? This Croc 64 remake looks great. Sure, bro. Whatever you say. Okay, but I wanted to add a camera zoom. So, if we go back to the basic movement, as you can see, this might get a bit complicated because coding, but I'm sure you guys can handle it. Okay, so, all this is to, like, for movement. This is how you turn left and right. It just says move right, but it does both. This is for moving forward. I have this, so that way when the game is in camera mode... hang on. So when it's in camera mode, then it makes it so that this is not true. So it does nothing for turning right, so that way you can't move right. And for here, for the moving forward, when it's false, it goes to the camera zoom. So that way what I'm trying to do is, I want to do this, but instead of moving the character, I want to use the input to push the camera, to make the camera zoom in more or less. Right? This is all really complicated, and I'm assuming you guys are able to understand and keep up, but I don't know. So I'm just hoping here. Because it's all complicated. Right? So what the plan is, I want to have this here. Okay. So this is already making it so that when we're in camera mode, it fails, this branch fails, and we go to the zoom function instead. Right? I'm kind of like speaking out loud to like... so that way you know, but also so I know. I'm trying to like organize things right now. So don't mind me. So what I want to do after that is, I want to have a calculation for like the minimum length of what the camera spring arm is allowed to be. When it's in first person mode, well, I guess it would be the maximum. The maximum length of the camera spring arm would be 0, and then to zoom in, we're gonna have the length be in the negatives, up to like 100 or 200, so that way you can kind of get like a further view. Just so that you guys kind of have like a reference for what all of that means, I'm gonna go down here. We're gonna change this, which is just the value for like... This is what the camera's at normally. This is what the camera's at when I'm zoomed in like that. I'm gonna change it to -300. And then we're gonna go over here. And then you're gonna see we're like further out. You know? You can tell that we're like not exactly where we were before. And we're kind of like over a larger space. So it's zoomed in a little bit, essentially. Which is what I want. We're gonna make that 0 again. That was mostly just for reference for you guys. Okay, so
I don't really know how to do calculations with this blueprint system, so I'm kind of gonna have to, like, look things up here. What I want to do is... I already said that. But I want to have it be like... I want to use this to see what the current length is. And then plus... No, hang on. Yeah, if we do... If that plus whatever the input is equal to either less than the minimum or more than the maximum, I want to just have it set to the maximum instead of going above that. But otherwise, I want it to just, like, have input add to what we currently have. I think. Coding is complicated. I hope you guys realize that. I hope you guys just seeing what it's taking just to do, like, a simple camera zoom effect is gonna be... helps you realize how complicated coding is. This is the sort of shit that goes into, like, every video game ever. Ever. So I'm gonna look up something. Unreal. How to... Let me just look up calculations in blueprints. Oh shit, incognito. I don't know why, but I always use incognito mode for, like, everything I'm looking up, except for, like, normal things that I'm always doing, like YouTube and Twitch. Even if it's just, like, a stupid question, like, how do I spell this? I forgot because I'm an idiot. Math expression node. Whoops. Software powering this discussion forum encountered an unexpected problem. We apologize for the inconvenience. Okay, well, let's see if there's a math expression node, I guess. Math... Add math expression. Okay... Okay, let me look that up then. Google things in incognito so Google doesn't know how dumb I am. For real. Alright, so it was called... Math expression. Unreal Math Expression Node. Okay. Create a... Yeah. Math expression node acts like a collapsed graph. It is a single node that you can double click to open... Yeah. Oh, we add the expression to the node? I see. Okay, so... we want it to be like... X is lower than 100, I guess. Or wait, no. X would be... What did I just do? Okay. Rename. X is lower than... No. X is greater than negative 100. No? Oh. Right. Hang on. Never mind. What about negative 100 is lower than X? Okay, no, I think I just can't do negative numbers. That's a problem. I only use incognito so the FBI can't see what I'm doing. No, you know what? You're right. The FBI doesn't need to know that I don't know how to spell words. This is none of your goddamn business, FBI. Okay. Okay, so if I can't use negative numbers... What is this? If you double-click the node with this expression, you would see the below subgraph. I see. I mean, I don't. But I see that this is going to be more complicated than I thought. Okay, so I'm guessing if I go back... rename this to just like x is less than 100. And I click on it. Oh, so this is just what the expression looks like in graph mode. I see. I can't let them see my 2 terabytes of Wario fanfics. Alright. I mean, he wouldn't have been my first choice, but alright. Whatever you're into, I won't judge. Okay, so... Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I can get... Maybe I should stop thinking so complicated. I should, like, start with the easy one. Which would be... x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so that would just mean if it's true or not. So we want... So now we need to calculate x. Tell me that isn't peak masculinity. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know. He's a little bit gross. I don't even think I want to begin to imagine what Wario would probably smell like. That's all I'm saying. And I imagine that would, considering how much of his personality that happens to be, exactly men are gross. It depends on the man, I suppose. But I guess you're straight, so you wouldn't understand, would you? Okay, so, I'm gonna use this. Okay, so I have, like, the basic idea of what I want. I forgot how to, like... I'm not straight, men are gross. You're a lesbian. That's on par with not understanding men as a straight man. I'm trying to do coding here. I don't have time to argue this. Nor the brain power. Okay, hang on. Unreal use input to get value. How do I get an input actions variable? That seems right. Okay, that... Oh, wait, no. This isn't what I was hoping for at all. I think he called me a straight man. No, I don't think so. Y'all in Mulan where she says, like, they're disgusting, and she was like, no, they're men. That movie is so fucking good. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I probably should, though. Okay, so I'm guessing just the input would be... So can I just, like, slap that in there? Hang on. Okay, so it's math expression node, and then we do, like, x plus y. Yeah, and then we have that. Okay, I think that might work, actually. I think this can work. I think I can get this. Hear me out. Okay, we grab the action value from over here. And then we add these two. Okay. So that should calculate what that is. Okay, so this will calculate if it's... Okay. And... I guess just and. Yeah. Okay. So if this... So if this turns out to be true... Hang on, wait. No, this is the easy one, so I don't have to worry about negatives yet. Lesbian straight men loving women. You know what? You're right. Good for you guys. Okay, so... So I want this to be true. Because this branch needs to be way up here. Right? Needs to be like after this. If this is true, and we need to do like the exact same thing, so we can like move these to the center. And then we copy this, but instead of it being the same math problem, what we're going to do is... And we're going to use this again. It looks a little messy, I know, but it's... I think this is going to work. Okay. And then... Nope, hang on. Is there like, hang on. Did I close out my tab? I did. Okay. Unreal invert map output. Oh wait, you know what? Hang on. Hang on. I'm not sure if this will work. Oh wait, no, it won't work because there's no negatives. Damn it. Let me at least try it. Yep, damn it. Oh, wait. It probably still won't work if I just do this. Not two. One. No, that works. Okay. And then this needs to be 100. So that should get a negative input, convert it to positive, and then compare it to 100. And then, if both of these are true, that branch will pass. And that was just to get the logic for if it'll zoom at all. Oh my god. This is why I don't do game dev streams that much. This shit is complicated. It's fun, though. It's fun watching everything all come together and seeing the results. Okay, so if both of those work, then we set target arm length if this is true, we set target arm length to, I guess, just this. And we're gonna add a couple of these, so that way we can see where everything's going a little bit cleaner. It just helps to have those around, so that way you can actually see the flow a bit better. I know that my code is still beyond messy looking, but it should work. Let's just try it. And then if it goes over, it shouldn't do anything. I might have, like, have it just set to, like... I guess that should be fine. Okay, so... Moment of truth. As we can see, we're still moving, but... we hit the stick. Oh! Okay, so this kind of works, but it's very, very slow. Also, 100 is way too far. I feel like we've passed 100, actually. I feel like we're really fucking going with that. Hang on. I don't think I... Well, no, clearly I did do it right, though, because it... Okay, we're gonna... Look at this. Another problem is that I have the inputs wrong, because I'm holding backwards, and it's going forwards. Okay, this is going really, really... Well, I guess it is supposed to be kind of far. I'm gonna, like, half it. 100's a bit far. Nope, hang on. Rename. It's weird having to do it through renaming it. Okay, so we can zoom in, we can zoom back out. It stops if it hits 0. Maybe we should, like, multiply it. Right? But I don't want to mess with it. Okay, hear me out. We're gonna do another math expression node. Math expression. We're just gonna do x2. So just the number times 2. We're gonna click. We're gonna get rid of this. Get rid of this. And do each calculation again. But that kind of means that 2 isn't even really going to be all that much of a change. We're going to do 5. Alright, I should probably wrap this up because we're getting near the end of the stream. I'm probably going to keep going with this after the stream. But I'm glad that you guys got to see what progress I've been making. And that you guys are getting another look into how this sort of shit happens. And how I'm really bad at it still. Okay, zoom in. That's really slow still. Alright, I just want to see if this will ever actually, like... Alright, good luck with the Gare game. Thanks for streaming with us. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching, even after I got distracted, I guess. I don't know if we're going to come back to Mario 2 on Monday. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But as usual, thanks for hanging out. I'm sorry if the ending wasn't too interesting, because I got so wrapped up with game development. I'm going to wrap this one up here, though. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. See you guys next time. I just said that. Whatever. See you guys later.